Um, Welcome to the next lecture on random process. Today's lecture we will first study some properties of power spectral density function. I will recall the definition of PSG. If you have a process x of t whose autocorrelation function is Rx of tau, then you find the Fourier transform of Rx of tau, which is like this. Then this is the definition of Sx of omega. It defines the power spectral density of this process. Also, the fundamental definition was, if you take the truncated process xt and its Fourier transform xt of omega, you square it and then take its mean average, divide by t, and then take the limit t tends to infinity. This is a definition of power spectral density. This is how we have defined it. Okay. Now, one immediate property we can get from this is, you see this function. If you change omega to minus omega, now since this mod of xt of omega will be the square, it will be xt of omega times xt of omega conjugate. So even if you change omega by minus omega, this function will remain same because there is a mod square. So Sx of minus omega will be same as Sx of omega. So power spectral density is even function of omega. The other immediate property is, you see this quantity is always non-negative, right? It's square. So Sx of omega is always non-negative. Okay, so these are two immediate properties of power spectral density. Oh, sorry, I have 1 over 2 pi here. So what I mean is, if we write the Fourier inverse of this Sx of omega, that we write in this way. So if you are given Rx of tau, you can find Sx of omega by finding its Fourier inverse, Fourier transform. But if you are given, suppose, power spectral density, from power spectral density, how do you find the autocorrelation? You will take Fourier inverse. How is that? So 1 over 2 pi e to the power j omega tau d omega. This will give you Rx of tau. And why it is 1 over 2 pi here? Because actually, if you work in the usual frequency omega 2 pi f, then it will be the usual answer, 1 over 2 pi and 2 pi will get cancelled. It will become Sx of f e to the power j 2 pi f tau, and here df. Okay. Now, suppose we want to compute the average power in the process, power of a random process. Okay, power of a random process. So how do we find that? What is the definition of average power? So if you take a mean square power, suppose you have a random process x of t, right? You take its square and then take its expectation. Okay, so this will be the mean square power or average power. Now, how do we compute it? Suppose if we want to compute this from autocorrelation function. So autocorrelation function is expected value of, I will recall that in the book you will see this notation x of t bar square like this. So I am writing expectation, it becomes more nice. So this is autocorrelation function. Okay, now if you put tau equal to 0, what will you get? X of 0 square. So this is same, sorry, x of t square, not 0. You have to put tau equal to 0, so you will get here x of t, right? Now looking at the Fourier inverse, Rx of tau is 1 over 2 pi minus infinity to infinity Sx of omega e to the power j omega tau d omega, right? Now if you put this tau equal to 0 here, so what will you get? 1 over 2 pi minus infinity to infinity sx of omega e to the power 0 is 1, so d omega. So this is the way to compute average power from, so this is also the average power. I will write that as this x square. Okay. From power spectral density, how to compute average power? Integrate the power spectral density from minus infinity to infinity and divide by 2 pi. And if you put omega is equal to 2 pi f, then you will get this as 1 over 2 pi s x of f 2 pi df. So 2 pi will get cancelled. You will get sx of f df. So this will be the average power, mean square power also. I can also represent it as px, the power of this, of course, average power of this random process. Now let's try one simple numerical, but it will be very important for understanding of some communication system later on. Let's take a random process which has power spectral density something like this, rectangular. Okay, so this is omega and it is 2 pi b minus 2 pi b. This is sx of omega, and this height is, let us suppose it is something n naught by 2. I will tell you why it is taking like this. This is 0. Now the first thing is, this is the power spectral density. What will be the autocorrelation function? How will you find autocorrelation function? So what is, so you know that autocorrelation function is Fourier inverse of sx of omega. So any guesses? What is the Fourier inverse of rectangular function? Yes, some of you might have got the idea. It is sinc function. So what exactly it is, you can look into table. You might have done Fourier transform pair of rectangular and sinc. So directly I will write the answer. It is nb, this n naught b, sinc of 2 pi b tau. Okay, let me even give the hint how it is done. See, you have done this. If you have a rectangular function t by tau, its Fourier transform pair looks like this, tau sinc of omega tau by 2. Okay, so this you can use. And how do you define rectangular function? In this way. Standard rectangular function is, it will be tau by 2 minus tau by 2 and this height is 1. This is how you define rectangular t by tau. And you also use that how to find Fourier inverse from this, so you can easily get it. This is small in the size, you can try it. So we have got the autocorrelation function, in fact, which will look like this, sinc function. Okay, now what will be the average power of this process? So you can use both the formulas now. So px is the autocorrelation function at tau equal to 0. So that will be, sinc, this is n naught b sinc of 0. See, sinc of 0 is actually indeterminate because sinc is sine of x by x. But at 0 we take the limiting value as limit x tends to 0. And you know that sine x by x, limit x tends to 0 is equal to 1. So this is n naught times b, average power of this process. Alternatively, you can use this formula also, that px is integral minus infinity to infinity sx of f df, right? See here, omega, this point is 2 pi b, so it is in terms of angular frequency. If you plot it like this, this f is equal to b here, minus b. So as a function of frequency f, So this is Sx of f. So what will be the integral? It will be the area under this curve. So you simply have to find the area of this rectangle. That is n naught by 2 times 2b, which is n naught b. This is the reason most of the books take it as n naught by 2. If you take it n naught, then the average power will come out to be n naught into 2b, which is 2b n naught. So people try to avoid this hanging 2. They want the average power to be a very nice figure, n naught times b. So that is why they take it n naught by 2. So we have done a very important process. What is so important about this process? This process speaks that if you are working on a communication system with bandwidth b, and you see here we are in that bandwidth regime. In that bandwidth, there is a random process whose power spectral density is constant. Each frequency component has same power level, right? Each frequency component has same power level. Now let's see one real life scenario where such thing is prevalent. If you take white light, in white light we say that there are all the colors present. What is color? Color is signified by frequency. So if you plot white light intensity versus the frequency, you will get this figure. In white light, each frequency, that is color, has same contribution towards intensity. So for that reason, any random process whose power spectral density remains constant at each frequency component, such a random process is called white process. Okay, and in communication systems, this type of noise is very common. The noise which is added up at receiver in communication system, it has been found experimentally, as well as I will give you one more justification later on using central limit theorem, that the noise process which signifies a communication system, which is affecting communication system, has this property. It is a white process. That is, each frequency component has the same contribution in the noise. So this much in this lecture. In next lecture we may do a couple of more examples, and also what is very important is we will try to analyze the communication systems using this knowledge of random process, especially the noise analysis. Okay, I hope that you got the basic idea of random process. Kindly revise and try to solve. There are a lot of solved examples. I will also point out some unsolved examples. After solving those, you will get more and more clear idea about the random process. Thank you.